What is up, people? What is up? What is up? I'm gonna enlighten you a little bit today for those who actually pay attention to what I say. I've had some new success with a new way of picking stocks, and I'm gonna get to that in a second. More importantly, I'm selling everything today. I don't care. I want a clean slate. I do this from time to time. The only stock I won't be selling today, there'll be two stocks. Penson, obviously, I'm never selling. If you guys even realize that I still own that stock, PNSN. It's been $5 for 3 years now. No point in selling it until either it goes to 0 or back to 20, which is not going to happen. And LLNW. The dry ships, I'm selling out of the common, but I'm going to be ready to reload on options if this thing ever does break out. And dry ships is another stock that also convinces you that the entire stock market is built on smoke and mirrors and air. Because why isn't the shipping companies moving? This thing should have had a move already. Really. It really should have. I mean, yeah, granted it went from $4 to like 6 and change, which is a good move. But then it died and came back, and now it's been sitting here. 520 so far has been a nice support on it. So let's talk about that OCZ one more time. I've seen it a million times. These stocks that come out of nowhere. Next thing you know, everyone's talking about them. There's no options on the stock. No one knows where this thing's going to go. Half the people trading it probably don't even know what they do. Not that that matters. But I'm out. I'm out of it. So if you're in it at 4 or 5 or 6 or even 7, and now it's trading at 7.5, rational thought, once again, makes you want to just take some profits on the stock. You know what I'm saying? Well, let me tell you about how I've been picking stocks. So I look at a stock, take a gander at the chart, right? And then I take this guy out. And I say, is this a good stock to buy? Should I buy it right now? And then if he comes up with a smiley face on the first turn, I buy the stock. So, should we be buying OCZ now at $7.50? See? He's confused about that. He doesn't think we should be buying it at $7.50 because it was $4 just the other day, right? See? He agrees. That's why during the bull market days, you really care about what an analyst has to say? Let's see these guys produce in a market that nobody knows what's going on. And right now, I read an article. I like to give this guy some credit. The Reformed broker, Josh Brown. Okay. He went on to say, if everyone's bullish and also everyone is looking for the dip to buy, and everyone thinks there's a correction coming, is it actually going to happen? If we're all waiting for a pullback, right? Is it going to come? No. We got to convince the matrix that everybody believes that the market will never go up. I mean, how many times can I say it? Never go down. If we all truly believe that, then maybe we'll start pulling back. And talking about the ultra bullish people, right? And they're out there, obviously. They're making money right now, laughing all along, taking their money, having a great old time with the market that never goes down. But then there's the guys that remain bearish. The guys that remain doomsdayer guys. The guys that say flash crash is coming again. The people that say that the market is going to be, double dipping and all those other stuff. There has to be a threshold of pain for these people. You cannot stay short forever. There's got to be a limit to what you can do as far as shorting the stocks. Now, what's going to happen is what I'm curious about is, so let's assume, right, that we go down. It's hard for me to even say that. So let's say we go to 15,000, right? And then we crash down 1,500 points, right? In a matter of like 3 weeks. Then, of course, you got to get all the doomsday guys come out. But these people, and the majority of people, you can't stay short because you can't have an unlimited supply of money to keep your short on. There has to be a point where you have to admit that you're wrong. How long does it have to go? And I want to know why Bill Gross is still on television. Bill Gross, when the market started rallying off 6,000, 7,000 to 8,000 to 9,000, pounding the table, how the market's going to double dip, and that we're headed back to 5,000. He was guaranteeing it, on and on and on. So why does Bill Gross have any credibility? Obviously, he runs the hugest bond fund, whatever he does. But there's got to be some sort of accountability if you're going to make these outlandish statements. Now, I give these recommendations. I give these stock picks, whatever you want to call them. I hate even calling them stock picks. It sounds too much just like gambling, but I guess that's what this is. So, if we went across the board and talked about all the winners and losers, and can't even focus on, I don't know. The point is, the OCZ, there was a winner. The Nvidia, there was a winner. The dry ships, it was a winner, depending on when you bought into it. If you bought into it at $6.35, it's a loser. If you bought LLNW at $7.50, it's a loser. So everything's different depending on when you got in. Obviously, that statement is even stupid to even say. Of course, timing is everything. But if you've been following along like you should have been all along, the entry to dry ships was $4.20. The entry to LLNW was $5. I was like, hey, look at this thing waking up here at $5. But we know that story. But the question is, what are we going to do about it now? And how are we going to make money tomorrow? You just opened your account. You could give a shit about what I told people to do last week. And you're at this point, you could care less about what OCZ does, what they're going to do, and what you think is going to happen in the future. Because you just looked at a chart on OCZ and you saw the stock went from 3 to 750. And you're thinking, you're going to wait for a pullback, right? That's what you're thinking. That's what everybody's thinking. On everything. So another reason that it's difficult to make money in this market. My idea for today, I was thinking that PCX was looking like a little bit of a top. You know, just based on the little churning action that it had yesterday. I thought today might be a sell-off in the stock. And I opened the computer and I see this thing's gapping down 70 cents already. So what I do normally on a day like that, when my one idea is done, I basically sit back and now I will look for other things to happen. What I'm doing is I'm selling out of my Adobe. Of course, I still think the stock's going up, but I'm selling out of it. I don't care. I want to start over. I want to begin again on a clean slate. And when I start broadcasting from T3, I want to be fully naked of all positions and then move on from there. As you know, I'm still short the Qs, waiting to load up. Because even though the market's going to Dow 20 thou and the Nasdaq's going to go to 5,000, there will actually be a day where the Nasdaq goes down 35 or 40 points and the Dow Jones goes down 150, 200. Even in 1999, which today's trading is actually better than that. And the reason I'd say that this environment right now is better than 1999, because 1999 was even more confusing. Because we had no idea where we were going. They were calling it the New America. You didn't base a company on anything that was normally talked about. There was no earnings per share because these companies didn't have earnings. It was all based on 1 quarter of revenue. Whoa, look at them, they actually made some money. And it was even beyond that. All you had to do was put a .com at the end of the name. So it made less sense. But this market, there's actually some sense to it because the reset button was pressed during 07, 08, 09. Somebody pressed the reset button. They said, let's wipe out 10 years in the stock market. Boof. The button was pressed. And we did it. Then the reset button was pressed again. So now we have our goal in sight to get back to where we came from. Dow 14,000 and change. So there's really no reason why we should just stray from that path because the reset button has been pressed. And we are going back to Dow 15,000. And I talk about Dow 20 thou all the time because the Dow is the number one indicator of the strength of the market to most common folk. To me, I could care less what the Dow does. Okay? I care more about the NASDAQ. I trade 90% NASDAQ stocks, tech stocks. And you know what? There's a whole new crop of stocks that are all going higher. And the reason the market can't go down is that every day, if there's a sector that's getting hit, commodities, ag, tech, whatever the case may be, there's another sector out there to carry the day. Sector rotation will not allow the market to go down until each sector, and don't forget about VMware, remember VMware, whatever that stock was? Stock got slaughtered after the earnings report. You know it's up 20 points since then. All right, whatever. We can't go down when the sector rotation is still there. There's got to be that day where the entire market, and I'm talking about the breadth, has to be completely negative to actually go down. And those days seem like they're gone. The matrix has programmed the market to stay afloat, and the way they do it is the sector rotation. So until every sector at once gives it up, you know the moral of the story. We're not going down. There might be a 2-day or a 3-day pullback somewhere in there. And the good thing and the fun part about 1999 and 2000 is when those corrections came, they were violent and nuts, and you felt like the market was never gonna go up ever again. And then of course we would go straight up for the next 10 days after we'd sell off. This market, we don't even get that opportunity. It's grinding higher. You never know when to get in. You never know. You're never going to feel comfortable about buying it. That's the bull market that we're in right now. You're never going to feel comfortable about it. And then 3 months later, we're up 10%. And then you're never comfortable about it, and 3 months later, we're up another 10%. Hey, I've been waiting to see a pullback in Joy Global for a year and a half now. Remember that? When it went from 17 bucks to 40, waiting for a pullback. Then it went to 50, 60, waiting for a pullback. And now it's gone. Stock could go to 120. I could give a shit. It's not like I'm going to buy the stock at 80 or 90, even though I think it might go to 120. Because I'm not going to do it. Because I try to position stocks more than I do day trading now. Because day trading is just retarded. Day trading is only for intraday reversals. Nothing else at all. I tried day trading last week, made a little bit of money, and then my FSLR trade, I bought it, thing stopped on a dime, reversed on me, 50 cents, sold half, and I was like hoping to hang on to the last half, and that went down another 50 cents or 80 cents, got out of that, and the stock's gone up 11 points since that day. That's why I hate day trading. Okay. Good luck.
I would much prefer Krull.